So that's a fancy way to say do this. And notice that her arm is natural and my arm is natural. So I'm not holding her in a position like this where I'm using my muscles to secure, and then see, it's natural. Okay. So then I can hold the scapula in this sandwich and I can rotate my body and take this shoulder on a little rotation. And I mean, you can go either direction, but I think, we naturally, move our shoulders down and back, so that's the direction I'm choosing to do. A couple times. And then neck or head first?
Palm side of head on both gallbladder lines, then thumb strongly to penetrate muscle.
Okay, so we're gonna do the head first. So we know that it starts here, just off, just next to the eye, gallbladder 1. So we're gonna palm gently. We don't use too much pressure. The line actually goes down to the earlobe, but that's kind of a weird thing to palm. So you can just palm the side of the head down behind the ear, and then you can palm the corner here, the pupil line, in the center of the eyebrow corner. I'm calling it a corner. Okay. I should be like this with my body, so I can give 90 degrees.
And it like pulls your hair when if your palm is sweaty, so.
Yeah. So then we're gonna thumb. So I'm just gonna do. You can use deep pressure, actually, on the skull. Here, I'm just gonna jet over. I'm not going in order. This is 12. This is 20. I'm gonna go up from 20 at that corner. 90-degree relaxed pressure, but I'm using quite a bit of pressure. And I'm gonna go aiming towards 14, which is on the pupil line, in the center of the eyebrow, just above the eyebrow. And then I can do this across. And I'm gonna end on 20, which is closer to bladder. It is kind of the corner of the neck. Like that's the corner of the head. Not directly on the bones like the bladder is. So now I'm just gonna go, I can use a little rotation to get more traction if I really want to stretch. But I'm gonna go down the gallbladder channel. 20 goes down the gallbladder channel, and then 12 is the Masanaga extension for the liver on the neck, which has no points. It's a Masanaga extension, but we use it. It's on the back of the SCM muscle.
I'm gonna go to this Adam's apple.
Yeah, and then it has a little Adam's apple, little pathway that just goes whoop, like that. So we're on gallbladder. We're gonna keep going around the scapula, and I'm bringing, again, of course, using my hara, but I'm bringing the scapula over my fingertips. I'm using my fingertips, but you can also use your thumb. And it's not everyone's scapula will want to kind of swallow up your thumb like this. Some won't even budge, but it does feel really good, and you can give good pressure here. So, ooh, nice little pop in there. So I'm gonna hold on to the scapula like a discus, and I'm gonna take a lunge, and I'm just gonna stand up, and I can pull this up. I'm not lifting my muscles, right? I'm just standing up. It's easier. It's a stretch, and then on this side of the scapula. I'm gonna keep going with the gallbladder channel. I'm gonna give this arm a stretch. I'm gonna work down the arm. So I'm securing, I've been holding the hand like this. I'm securing the forearm. You never wanna hold the wrist because it's just too delicate. But I've been doing this. Hold it to my sternum and just lean back. Because it's nice. Popping, everything's moving around. I'm not, you know, it's how hard that is. I'm just leaning and rising up. And then we're gonna lay it flat, like this, just like this. And you wanna make sure their body is really in a good side position. Some people naturally are turned like this. So if they are, you just wanna make sure they're nice and straight. So you can palm. And you can thumb. It's very close to the center line. It's just posterior to the large intestine line. It has no points. It has no. It's just a line. It has subos. It doesn't have point names. And it goes to the middle finger. Extension. Middle finger. Okay. Now we're gonna do a little shoulder rotation and side position. I'm securing this joint, and I'm just moving this elbow around. And you can lean, 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 lean. I'm really using the floor. I'm not, using my strength. I think what's next is this one. It's a little choreography for you.
Open arm belly.
Okay. So I'm here, I have to get in Seiza again. So I always use mobilizing people as a way to move my body. So I'm, right? I move my body. People tend to have, if they have rotator cuff injuries, this is a very scary position for them and they're not gonna like it. So you would never lay their arm back that way. Just to be safe, you would open it this way. All right, so you can have a mother hand. You can hold it at the neck if you want, the gallbladder 20. And this is the liver extension. The liver extensions and the meridian lines on the leg are close to spleen. So this is where spleen is, right? Spleen 20 is here, or 21 is here. So it's just medial to that. And I'm just leaning in this extension. And it goes like this. And it attaches back to 14. So that's all I'm doing. And then I can hold this lung 1 or just a palm here because that liver is there as well. And I can go down. The liver is yin, so it's on the yin part of the arm. And I'm aiming for the ring finger, the 4th finger. She's quite flexible in her shoulders. Some people might be up here. But you just do what is natural. And if they aren't able to relax their arm all the way, you can support it like this, perhaps. Or maybe you wouldn't do this move on them. But you want to make sure they can relax in whatever position they're in. But a little bit of stretch is nice. All right. So again, I use a rotation to get myself, right, out of where I was. And I'm gonna lay her arm that way because I'm gonna go down this gallbladder channel. You can start pretty high up on this edge of the scapula in this position. And I'm going down. She has a seam, which is very helpful because this is literally the line I'm doing. And it's so nice here to wait for their exhale. So sometimes I cue people to breathe in, and then as they exhale, I'm just going between the ribs with my thumb and dragon's mouth. This can be really restricted in people, this rib cage, and this will it'll be a lot for those people, but I think they'll feel a very big difference very quickly. But really important to go with their breath. So I'm waiting, and then she exhales, and so I can go into the point. I'm just going straight down, creating space between all the ribs. I'm moving a little fast. Careful of these floating ribs. These can break, so I'm not using a lot of pressure on the floating ribs. But you should still, Okay. I'm gonna do this side stretch. So she rolled a little forward. Do that. So I'm just gonna bring her back. My hands are in the small of her waist. I'm gonna say breathe in, and as she exhales, I'm gonna stretch the side of the body, and then breathe in. Just creating space. I'm kind of latching at the hip, and I'm not really squishing, this situation, but I'm just thinking about elongating, and my weight is kind of more in this direction because I don't want to create, a lot of compression up here. And then you can, here on the glutes, so nice. You can elbow. She keeps falling this way. So the gallbladder points, they skip around, they zigzag, but we can always just use the side seam. This is the trochanter, so then 30 would be right behind it. Good to have a mother hand on the low back and sacrum for this. This is great for hip pain, low back pain. And you can also rotate the hip here. I'm in Seiza, and I'm just moving my body in a circle with my arms straight and just taking the hip with me, which is a nice, very gentle rotation. And I'm not doing much, but it feels like a big rotation for the person. So then I'm gonna palm down. You can use your palm on gallbladder, or you can use your forearm, and then 31 is where their fingertip would hit. Really, it's the center of their thigh. This is the IT band, often super, super tight. Not on this person though. Then we have 45 under this bone, next to the stomach point.
34.
34. And we're going down. I'm still holding a mother hand here. This is 40. This is the cuboid bone. And you can really get in this groove. This is the fourth toe. And look, I can do liver. Palming. I can also stretch. I'm a little bit behind. Yeah? I'm not here. It's not a straight line. It's a little bit of a diagonal stretch, which is nice. Did I miss anything? No? All right, so we're gonna roll them back over. It's pretty easy. And then we could do the other leg, the other 5A, right? So then we would do the rotation of this hip, right? And I'd do all the stuff, and then I would roll them over to the other side.
Cut.